Hey, good morning everyone. Alisa Tilsner from South Australia here. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm just going to get myself set up quickly as I possibly can. Today I'm going to create a card, not designed by me. It was designed by one of my downline, Lyn Powell, who lives over in York in Western Australia, and she designed this card and I said, I have to case it, and she's like, yes, sure, go for it. So yesterday at Lincoln Learn we made this card, but I didn't actually get to make mine because one of the ladies turned up who said she was going to be away, so I gave her my kit. So I will be making this for the first time. We'll be using, what's interesting about this is that we're going to be using the Christmastime is Here suite, but you will just be using the paper. So you can, I've worked out how many cards you can probably come up with these with just the paper. So you don't actually need to purchase the rose and the die stamp set if you don't want to. You can create huge amounts of cards with just the paper. So let me grab the paper. Hello, if you're coming in, oops, wait a minute, I got to turn my iPad around so I can see comments. I did forget that. Good morning. Let me just see, I need to rejig my thing here. Now I can see the comments. So, as you can see, I've pretty well gone through my stash of paper quite nicely, but using this paper, I think this is the last sheet I've got left of this one, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, plus you've got half ones, which I've got a few like the edges that have been left over. So what I'm going to try and do is just do some smaller square Christmas cards and use the edges and pop them along the edge so that I can get even more Christmas cards. So you get 4 sheets of each design. So what's that? 8 times 4 is 32. So you could get 32 cards, plus if you use the edges, you could probably get a couple more cards out of it. So just using the paper, you can get awesome because we're going to use bits of the other paper to go with it. So let us start. Now I do apologise because I tried to get as much done off camera as I possibly could, but I couldn't get it all done. So apologies. And I need to bring my big shot in to do a little bit of work for this as well. But to start with, thank you for sharing, Wendy, because I was just about to say I have a little giveaway for this week. It's the glitter enamel dots. They are retired, but you know, I'm sure that they will still come in handy for somebody. So you know what to do to go in the drawing to win these is just to chatter with me, share. If you do share, just make sure that you pop that you have shared because you know, settings and stuff, sometimes I can't see them. So that is what is going on offer. And hello to everyone coming in. Hello, if you're watching the YouTube replay, you can head over to my Facebook page and share my video from there if you want to go in the running. Okay, let's get started. Enough waffle. So I'm going to make the 2 cards at the same time. So hopefully, I don't think it'll take me any longer to make 2 cards at the same time. Yesterday when we did our Lincoln Learn class, we made the full size. You know how I cut my card size down a little bit? Well, yesterday we made the full size, but today I'm going to make the half size. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I still prefer to use... Actually, should I do that? Oh, no, that's okay. I do still prefer to cut my card size down a little bit. I think it just gives me a little bit... a bit more card balance, I'll say. So, okay, so this is a really fun technique and I loved what Lyn had done. So I'm casing this card from one of my downline. She stamped the birch stamp set, which goes so well with the roses. Just makes them gorgeous. Okay, so nice big one. I'm going to open my cards out because if I haven't folded them properly, they will get ink in places where there doesn't need to be ink. Okay, and then just using crumb cake. And this is the other great thing about these is that there's only one ink pad involved and a Versamark. So there is a little bit of embossing, which I'm sure that you can switch out if you don't want to do embossing. Okay, I'm gonna have, oh, these are so big and orkies for my little hands. So I'm just going to, and I don't care that it's not going to cover the entire card because some of it will get switched. Good morning everyone coming in. I do have a giveaway for those who are coming in. So just chatter with me. And if you want, you can share. Just say that you've shared. Oh, look at that. Why does that always happen to me? I'll have to put an insert into it. Oh, for goodness sakes. It's always the case. I've probably got ink on my fingers somewhere. It's like, you know, wearing white, isn't it? Work with white, you're bound to get something on you. Says me who wants to buy a pair of white jeans. I don't own a pair and I'm thinking I wouldn't mind to have a pair. I'm a little bit scared about perhaps owning a pair of white jeans. Okay. Yes, we are safe from the fires. Thank you very much. We actually live on the other side of town. This was on the fires were on the outskirts of town. And we live right by the beach anyway. So, but it would have to burn all through town to get to us. So, but thank you. Yes, 2 houses were lost. I don't believe one was occupied. So that was, at least that was a. Oh, that didn't sound good. Something down my big shot didn't sound good then. You know, and the dirt circuit and the go-kart club, they've all lost everything. So it's a bit sad for some of the community groups and the pony club. They were out there and not good, but not nearly as bad as people in Queensland and New South Wales. That was just devastating. Now I'm going to see whether I can zoom back a little bit. Nope, I am, oh, there we go, I can zoom back a little bit. Okay, so the next thing that Lyn did was to actually run your card front through the Subtles embossing folder. So, and I'll show you the difference. It's like, well, as the name says, it's subtle. So it is a really, really subtle, but it almost gives it like here's one with and here's the without. So it just really gives it just that little bit of texture and sort of almost brings that real shabby chic into play. So I thought it was awesome. So I'm just going to do my other one because I am making my 2 cards, oops, at the same time. Figured it probably doesn't take any longer to make 2 cards than what it does 1. Although it might, because I'm having a bit of, don't like doing big shot stuff on camera. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I need to pull it out more. It just gives that real, well, obviously, subtle effect. So let me just put all that back together, get it out of the way. Oops, I got bits falling out of it. Okay, so we've got them. How cool. Now I've got pieces of, I call my designer series paper A side and B side. So I'm using the A side on both of my, actually on all the paper that I'm using the A side. I don't particularly like the B side on these ones, but they are gorgeous. So I haven't quite found a use for either of them. They would be great for just background, but we're going to use the B side for them. And I need my snail. Good morning. So I'm just going to stick them down. It's quite a quick card. We had, I think there were 8 ladies making their cards yesterday at Lincoln Learn, so it did get a little bit, even though it's not a very particularly hard card, but it did get a little bit full on there for a while, I guess, with everybody waiting for the big shot and stuff. Okay, so now I've got a little gold strip of gold foil. You could probably use ribbon. I think I think Lyn may have used ribbon here, but I'm going to just pop a little bit of gold foil along there. And my contraband glue. Keep petitioning, bring it back, bring back the two-way glue pen. That one's from a competing company, but I have heard that they've even stopped selling it, so I'm going to have to go and look for a different one. Okay, and then I haven't poked all the little bits out of these. This one is from the die, but like I've just said that you don't need to purchase the stamp and the die, but you don't have to put this one on if you don't want. So you can, oops, get that out. You can use any die that you have. You don't even have to, look, green with green. You don't even have to put this part in if you don't want. So that's good. Good morning, everyone. I do have a giveaway today. It's a pack of retired glitter dots. So feel free to chat and, oh, that's awesome. They last forever too. Well, not forever, otherwise we wouldn't have to buy another one, but they do last an extremely long time, and they're handy because if you just want to dab bits on, it makes it so much easier. So, without making a mess everywhere. So I'm going to pop this, where will I pop it? I'm actually going to pop it just over the gold. Because I didn't make my card yesterday, I got to see what other ladies, how they were placing theirs. Some placed it right along the edge, some placed it over the gold, which looked particularly nice. So I get to steal some of their ideas if that's going to stick. Pop that on there. Oh, okay. I need to hunt for some more of the two-way. I think it's just. I think the Stampin' Up one was actually a Zig brand anyway, so because the packaging was identical. All right, and with the chisel, anyway, I shouldn't be talking about other people's glues, but I keep petitioning Stampin' Up to bring theirs back, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to stick that one on. I've stuck this one on the opposite direction. I wonder if that one's dry. Pop that on there. Whoopsie. Oh, that's not going to be straight now. Oh, look, now they're not going to stick properly. I think it might be the gold. All right. I'll stick you there. Anyway, what I can do in the meantime, and I'm so sorry, I had hoped to have these cut out before I even came on, but I didn't get there. So, but I am going to show you how quick it is to cut these out. So if you missed the beginning of my video, I was saying that if you don't like the idea of purchasing the actual stamp set and the die bundle, you don't have to. You can make, I think we came up with 32 of these cards just by getting the designer series paper. And they've made it really easy because, I'll stand up and show you, because there's a white area that goes all the way around and you don't even have to fussy cut really into those. You can just follow that white line around. Where's a good place to start? You can just follow that white line around and you don't even have to be particularly fussy. There is a die for the other image on the paper, but you don't need it if you don't want to. So if you're after some reasonably, I mean, what? Paper's $25. Card base is, I've used thick Whisper White. So yeah, I reckon you could get out of it pretty well if you don't mind cutting. If you don't mind cutting at all. And of course, you know, the B side of this is gorgeous. You can put it with anything else. It doesn't have to be Christmas. Not the B side, the green and the cherry cobbler that I'm using on the small pieces that I'm using on that card, they would go awesome with any card. So if you've got plenty of that left over after you've made all your Christmas cards, you can just use them for other things. Okay, it's not too bad. Like I said, I was hoping to get this done off camera, but unfortunately I got off the computer a little bit too late. It's that sidetrack thing again. See, I'm not even going to fussy cut in there. I'm just going to go around. Boom, done. That didn't take that long. And it's pretty. I am unfortunately not going to any on stage. Ooh. So speaking of which, if you are a demonstrator and you are not going to an on stage like me, Pam Jurgensen has started a group called Offstage 2019. So you can request to join that group, and I am going into that group. I'm probably going to do a live video in there over some stage over the weekend. So come join us if you are not going to on stage. So, and the reason why I am not going to on stage is because my son has his last exam tomorrow, and I sort of thought that's probably a little bit more important that I be here for him. So, well, it's fast fussy cutting, but it's easy. They've got a nice white line around it, and I'm not going particularly fussy. Sometimes I would fussy cut it even more than this, but they've made it really easy. There's just a big white area around before the little gold dots start. You know what, it would have been really nice if they'd brought out a whole sheet of just those little white gold dots. That would have been awesome. So there we go. So that's not too bad. So if you wanted to make your 32 cards from the paper and plus all your little extras, and what I mean by the extras is these ones on the ends here, I'm going to make some just little square Christmas cards, and I'm just going to use them and pop that up against the edge and then put my sentiment along here or something, and then I can get even more. I think you can get like 44 cards out of the pack of paper. So hopefully that is, it's not really on there properly, but anyway, so there's my 2 cards, and they are gorgeous because they've got the most delightful gold in them. So I love them, and I love that one too. Okay, that one's stuck down. That one's almost stuck down. Okay, now the other thing that I've done is, and I did these ones off camera. These ones were the most important to get done off camera because they are a pain in the neck to get out of the die. So they took a little bit of time. So these are from the Flourish Thinlets. Okay, now when Lyn did her cards, whoops, my thing's falling. I'm just going to zoom in. When Lyn did her cards, Kathy, when you go to Perth, Lyn, my downline, who actually designed these cards, green with green, red with red, she is going to be there. So you'll have to say hello. So Lyn, what she did is she used these, but she also used another die, which I don't have, so I didn't worry about using it. Now, I'm not going to stick them down yet, because last time I did that, I didn't have room for my sentiment. She did another, what am I trying to say? She added more foliage behind it. She used these ones here from the Flourish Thinlets, but she also used another a foliage set. But the leaves that I've got don't seem to go with the style of card, so I am not doing that. Okay, I am going to use Itty Bitty Christmas just to show you that you can use any sentiment that you have. It doesn't need to be from that stamp set. What one should I use? Because I'm going to white emboss it. Maybe I'll do Celebrate the Season. That seems to be a nice big one. Do this one here. Obviously used it a fair bit. It's got a little bits of ink in there. Now I've got some scraps, and this is the other thing I love is when you've got scraps and stuff. They you can use them up for skinny skinny things. Oh, I better get other stuff out organised. Jeepers creepers. Oh, I got things running away. Get off the way. Right, okay, so I'm going to white emboss these, and I apologise because I wanted to have this done off camera as well. But because I'm sure that you all know how to emboss, there's a few things that, oh, you know what I should do? I should do this first, hey. I just don't like the grittiness. The grittiness drives you forward. Okay, ink, ink, ink. And I can do both at the same time. If you're going to make one card, you might as well make two, right? Okay, getting myself all messed up. I need to get some containers and just dump a whole heap of white powder into it so I don't have to deal with all of this like you see in the professional videos. Alright, whoops, don't put it down on top of each other. Get it out of the way, because now there's more grittiness. Who hates the grittiness? Ooh. Okay, so excuse me. Excuse the noise. Oops, get my cord out. Okay. Oh, gosh. Love it. Oopsie, I must have stuck my finger in there. Okay, now I need to just trim them. Where are my trimmers gone? And excuse my trimmer. I like to get super close and I can't quite do that with a bigger trimmer. So, shh. I know, it's the grittiness. It's just like, ugh. It's like glitter. I love glitter, but I hate glitter. Alright, I'll try and make that straight. That's why I love those stamps that are the reverse, so that when you stamp them, they're in colour and then they have the white. Here we go, that'll do. And they have the white background. There's a couple. There's not a lot of them, but I think I need to petition Stampin' Up to make more of them, so that way we don't have to do so much embossing. Yeah, it's a good little trimmer, isn't it? I have to admit, it's good for little things. It's good for little things. Although I have to say, oops, that's not even straight. Whoopsie. I have to say I am totally loving the new Stampin' Up trimmer. I rarely used the previous one, but I am using this current one a lot. I think that's straight now. I am using the new one heaps. Now I do have a few tools that I tend not to part with. This little banner punch is one of them, because it just makes the ends so easy. I think the last time I showed I had used, or a couple back, I had the distress tools from Stampin' Up still and the sanding blocks, and so there's a few things that, it's because they're retired, we don't get rid of them. And if you're a customer, you don't need to get rid of anything, do you? So, okay, now it's assembly time. Now I can figure out where I am going to, I think I like this one on this one. I'm probably going to pop that down here. Probably in that direction. So what we need to do is these little thingies here, they sort of just extend it and make it like fluff it out a little bit more. Actually, I don't know that I've got them. I don't know whether to have them on there or not. Should I put them on? Or not, is the question. Use them or not use them. Is which still available, Wendy? All right, with or without? I know there's a lag, so I will wait just a minute or two. But that's pretty much how I'll probably have it. Should I put it? Yes to these. All right, so what I'm going to do is yeah. Where's my adhesive? Without? Yes? No? With? Use them? Yes. Now we're all divided. Maybe I'll do one with, one without. We'll see. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually pop them on, and I just want a little bit peeking out too. I don't want the whole thing. Okay, so I think we've got with the punch. Oh no, the punch is not available. The banner punch, no, that is completely gone. I think I'll put that one down there. So I'll put some adhesive. You can trim off the excess, and then I'll stick one out that side. No, sadly there's a few things that you sort of think, why did they do that? You can trim off these extras if you, oh, it's handy, isn't it? You can trim them off if you don't want them, but they're only gonna be covered up anyway. Get out. Okay, some dimensionals. I'm down to the ends. Now Lyn also said that when she made this card, she actually put this on. She put the flower on Whisper White as well, just to make it a little bit stronger. But going down the vein of, if you don't have the die and the stamp set, then just use a stack of dimensionals instead. Oh man, you should see the pile up of rubbish I have right beside me. All these tiny little pieces are just getting bigger and bigger. I think I'm going to need to spend some time and tidy up my room. Okay, now where did I have that? That way? I don't want to cover up that filigree thingy too much, but sometimes you just can't help it. But it's nice to have it there in the background. And all right, so what I'm going to do for this is, because it's this part's raised and this part's not, what I normally do is just put one dimensional on one end, the end that is going to be on the card base, and then I just put adhesive on the bit that's going to be on the raised bit, if you get what I mean. So that way, when you pop it down, it is flat. So you got partly raised, and then that sticks down there. So that's almost the first one done. Here is the second one. So let's work out which direction this one is going to go. All right, we'll stick one there, all over the place. Let's see. Stick one there. I don't know, you just find little gaps to put them in. Again, you don't have to, like I'm saying, if you don't have to put these on your cards. Probably make your card a whole lot quicker if you didn't put them on. Because I swear, cutting these ones out on the Big Shot took a huge amount of time. But if you want to make them a little bit extra special, then that's why you put them on. Actually, maybe I'll put two. Maybe I'll do two on that side. Look, I don't even have to. I'll make that a little bit longer. There we go. Okay. More of these guys. Okay. Just love to cut them all up and then use them as they go. And yes, I'm being excessive when you're just coming in, but being just paper, Why not? There we go. Almost done. Now these, along with this suite, for the background, I'm casing my downlines card. I have to say first, so it's not my design, but she came up with stamping with the birch stamp set and then running it through your Big Shot with the textured embossing, the Subtles embossing folder, just to give that really pretty effect to your card base. It sort of gives it a real whitewash, doesn't it? It's sort of like shabby chic in a way. So we're just showing what you can make if you don't want to purchase the stamp set and the die bundle, that you can still create, what did we say, 32 cards like these, or if you want to use the edges of your card of the paper, you can probably get about 44 cards just using the paper. And obviously you don't need a lot of green cardstock and stuff like that. So you could, I mean, I've used a couple of different dies, but you can omit them and you would still have a gorgeous card. Now, in the suite, there is these gorgeous, gorgeous gold glitter enamel dots, but I have used a whole packet already. I used them in class, and so I have run out of them. So if you grab this, and then just, you know, if you've got gold foil at home and a pack of white cardstock, you can just go for it. So instead of using gold, I am going to use these ones here. 1, 2, 3, not good enough. These are the epoxy frosted and clear droplets, which I think work quite well as well. Obviously the gold ones look, but we're going to make do. I do have a gold Sharpie, and I did try to do a gold Sharpie on them, but it was really dull. It wasn't pretty, so I didn't want to use it. I tried one and it was just like, ew. But these are super, super sweet on them as well. They sort of just look like little dewdrops now. So you might even put one over here this time. And 2 little ones. Whoops. So there we go. So once again, these are my downlines cards. I didn't design them. I just fell in love with them and thought she did an amazing job. And I was like, right, I'm making them. I did ask her permission. I didn't just go, I'm going to make them. But so yeah, so if you are going to the Perth one, she's going to be there. Her name is Lyn Powell. So, and she created these, and they are just gorgeous. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, that's right. So if you have just tuned in, or if you've, then I do have a giveaway. I will probably come back later in the day because I'm really bad at coming back. So I will try and get these back to the end of the day. So you can continue to comment on the video and share it if you like, and then I'll select someone for that to go to. But yeah, so you can create a whole heap of these cards. I've made 2 in how long? Just over half an hour with a little bit of waffle. And again, you know, just cut out the dies if you don't want them in there, and it'll be even quicker. So there you go. Yes, definitely get the paper. If anything else, that paper is absolutely stunning. And like I said, you can, you know, these ones here, you can use them for any card. They don't have to be Christmas, but so there you go. So thank you very much. I do have, like, if you are in Australia, I do have a class going with them. So if you do decide you want to purchase the stamp set and the die, then you will also get 3 designs, and you'll make 2 of each with envelopes, and I'm going to do a video to show you how I coloured that in, because all I did for this was use 1 ink pad. I've used 3 ink pads: Cherry Cobbler, Meadow Moss, and Soft Suede. So simple. So I'll show you how to get that. So if you think that you're scared of colouring, please don't be scared of colouring. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to head off, and you enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Oh, it's only Thursday, isn't it? I'll keep thinking it's Friday already. Oh no. So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, and have a great time at Onstage if you are going. I'm very sad that I'm not, but if you are not going either, then do please check out, search for Offstage 2019. You can pop my name in the question, like there's a question that you have to answer. So if you pop my name, then Pam will know that I've referred you and you can go straight in. But you have to be, oh, actually, no, don't do that, because if you're a customer, then you're not allowed in there. Just ignore all of that. Oh, my mouth runs off with me sometimes. I'm going to go. Bye.